Welcome back, chat. Episode 32 of the Hitters Meeting here on the Hip Cool and on Hardcore Braves. As per usual, I am joined with Coach Ken Anderson. Coach, how the heck are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, other than the fact I'm in a motel room, but I'm in beautiful Cherokee, North Carolina. The creek's rolling outside, and the Braves just had a 7-0 homestand. Can you believe it, Ryan? First time since 2013.
That is absolutely insane, especially with like how many hot runs they've had in that ballpark. Man, that's really impressive by the guys. Great homestand. Oh, by the way, we're a game on the Dodgers now for what, the second seed in the playoffs. Phillies are still 8.5 back. They're pissed off because they won 3 out of 4, but no ground on us. So they're having a good old fun time down there in the 2 hole in the National League East. And the Braves just keep on rolling. They're rolling into the Bronx this weekend, Ken. We get to face an old familiar friend of ours, Game 6 hero. But before that, I do want to talk about the previous series in Miami before I get too far ahead of myself. Ken, we hit the piss out of the ball against the Marlins, huh?
I'm going to tell you something, and the most impressive was Yuri Perez is a tough ride, and we had some great at bats, not good, great at bats against him. That bodes well, definitely for the series coming up in New York. A lot of similar pitchers, and Yuri was getting pissed, and I don't think I've ever seen Yuri throw that many pitches over 100 miles an hour. You could tell he was like, "What is going on here?" I just think we're seeing the ball. Pretty much, other than the Mets series, which makes no sense why what happened in the Mets series, but I think we've seen the ball pretty well coming out of the All Star break. But I told you before we got on here, Matt Olson's fixing it. He's absolutely killing the ball. You mentioned Baldwin. We got some guys that may be fixing to go on stream heaters here.
Yep, everybody's doubting Austin Riley. Even tonight in Game 3, look, he didn't have a hit or anything, but even his at bats were just better. Besides the 0-0 fastball he took down the middle because he was guessing breaking ball, but he was on the heater. He was trying to go to right center field. He even the sac fly he had was a slider off the plate, and he stayed back and drove it hard back up the middle. So really good signs at him. Ronald, couple bombs, even though one of them was the most goofiest thing I've ever seen live in a baseball field. So really good stuff this weekend from the Braves. And like you said, Yuri Perez is definitely going to play a factor for the Braves getting prepared for games 2 and 3 of this series. But as we said before, game 6, World Series hero Max Fried is on the bump Friday night in the Bronx. Ken, what you got on our old guy, Max Fried?
He is a tough ride. He has the dreaded curveball, and he throws other stuff now. And we've talked before. He's kind of changed the way he is. He's getting older and he's learning how to pitch, and he still has a plus fastball, but his repertoire is what makes him difficult. And let's make no bones about it. He'll be a tough ride. The good thing is we do now have some right-handed lineups that can hit. Murphy will be in there. Thomas will be in there. Thomas looks great against left-handers, but you had pointed out before he does struggle against Max, so we'll see how he does.
It's definitely going to be interesting. And just to give y'all a stat, good old Lane Thomas is hitting well under the Mendoza line against Mr. Max Fried. So it's by no means going to be an easy ride for him. And let's go ahead and dive into Max. He's got a very vast repertoire compared to what he had in Atlanta. He's got a cutter, sinker, four seamer, changeup, sweeper, curveball, and his number one pitch back in the day, Ken, was the slider. He doesn't even hardly throw that pitch anymore. It is not even hardly, which is absolutely mind boggling to me because I remember he struggled like 22, 23 whenever he was developing the sweeper. And I was like, he needs to go back to the slider, and he did for a while to get back on track. But he is that is absolutely insane to me how much his repertoire has changed in a couple of years. So let's keep on rolling through it. Left-handed hitters, you were going to primarily get sinkers with a mix of a cutter, a four-seamer, a sweeper, and a curveball. Main pitches will be the sinker and sweeper. Sinker gets more arm side run. Glove side, it's very minimal and almost flat. He basically starts it just outside off the plate. So you think it's the four seamer, but then at the last second it darts back over the outside corner and he can get you rung up on that. So he's going to try to paint that outside corner with the sinker all day long. Right-handed hitters, you're going to get the cutter, four seamer, changeup, sweeper, curveball, and sinkers. So you get the whole entire kitchen sink pretty much. Good luck. Tendencies. For the righties, he gets cutter heavy. And but I tell you, Max Fried didn't have many tendencies, but this one was pretty daggum noticeable in these two counts. He is cutter heavy in 2-1 and 3-1 counts to right-handed hitters. Lefties, he gets sinker heavy when he's behind the count, and his four-seam fastball becomes noticeably prominent in 2-2 counts. He likes to try to get you out and get you above the zone with the four-seam fastball, get you swinging at that. So keep that in mind as well. I'm not saying that you need to sit four-seam fastball 2-2 count. Just be aware that he does like to go to it above the strike zone to get you to chase. Right-handed hitters are approached. We're going to be hunting the four-seam, sinker, and changeup window and the cutter sweeper window. For the four-seamer, sinker, changeup, you want the ball to start inner third to outer third, belly button to high thigh. The cutter and sweeper, we want them to start away off of the plate to the outer third, above the zone to the belt. You really want to stay middle backside with Max and driving him right center field. You got to get him up in the strike zone and do not expand low, because if you expand low, he's going to eat you up with his curveball, with his changeup, with all of his secondary stuff. So make sure you get the cutter up, because if it gets up, it flattens out. The sinker, if it gets up, flattens out. His four-seamer is 95 on a good day, and it doesn't have that elite ride through the zone. So if you get it up, it's kind of a little bit flat, and you can get to it. It's the same thing with his sweeper. If you get it up, it's going to flatten right on out. So that's going to be the key to Max. Get him up in the zone. Don't expand low, and you should be okay and stay middle backside. Lefties, we're going to hunt the sinker and sweeper windows. For the sinker, you want it to start, and I mean just a little bit off the plate. So not quite to the chalk line in the right-handed batter's box, but kind of in between the chalk and the corner. That's where you want it to start at. To the middle part of the plate, belly button to high thigh in height. The sweeper, you want it to start inside off of the plate at you and above the strike zone to the mid thigh. Keep your direction to left center field and do not try to pull him. Do not expand low. Get him up in the zone. You're going to have a lot of success. Again, Max makes a living off of soft contact and getting guys to expand out of the strike zone. If you keep him in the strike zone and get him up, you will do well. If we start expanding the zone and chasing him low, it's going to be a really long day at the ballpark, Ken. You got anything else on Mr. Max Fried?
You know, the thing is, you can't overswing against Max. So you need, like you said, the biggest point. All I was thinking about. Got to hit the ball middle backside. And in Yankee Stadium, as a right-handed hitter, that's where you want to hit the ball anyhow. You want to drive the ball to right center and to right field. We should be able to do that. One other quick note against cutter pitchers, Mario Rivera knew he said he was in trouble in the World Series against Luis Gonzalez because Luis Gonzalez hits everything middle backside, and he couldn't get him out, and then Diamondbacks walked off for a World Series win. Not that we're going to win the World Series here, but if we hit the ball middle backside, we will have success against Max. If we don't, he'll have success against us.
Now, I also want to point this out. Just from watching Max Fried for multiple years, he's either going to be pounding the strike zone, so you're going to get something to hit early, or he's not going to have his A+ stuff. He's going to be all around the zone, but he's not going to be inside the strike zone. So you're gonna know which one you're getting pretty early, and if he's around the strike zone, get his rear end in the strike zone and do not expand. But if you're getting pitches that are hittable early, let it rip. I'm not saying to not work the pitch count, but I'm also saying to be aggressive on your pitches in your windows, because if you get him, you want to hit him. But if he's all over the place or just on the edges of the zone, bring him into the zone before you really commit on anything. Game 2, Ken, which, by the way, chat, we're getting the 3 best pitchers if you haven't figured that one out yet. Game 2, this old, golly, he's kind of getting up there in age now. He's coming off a Tommy John surgery. It's his first full season back. Mr. Garrett Cole, Ken. What you got on Mr. Cole?
He's one of the best pitchers in this decade. He's going to face Chris Sale, who's also one of the best pitchers in this decade. My biggest concern with him, Ryan, and if we know anything about Garrett, the bigger the game it is in his eyes, the better he pitches. He gets more in the strike zone for one thing, and you don't think he's facing Chris Sale, how big of a game in his eyes it'll be, a little mano a mano. So we're going to get the best of Garrett Cole, in my opinion. So I'm interested to see what you say as far as hitting him.
Well, I will say this on Mr. Cole. He still is very good, but if you want any silver lining, Chad, he's not as good as he used to be when he was in his early Yankee days and in those prime Houston Astro days. But he's still a very elite pitcher. He does, however, have a lot more simpler repertoire. So if I'm a hitter, I'm looking more forward to this than I would be facing Max Fried, who can come at you with 5 different pitches at any given point in the count. He has a four-seamer and a sinker. I will note that he only throws the sinkers to right-handed hitters, and it's very few and far between. So it's basically like if you're leaning out over the plate, he might bust you inside with one, and that's going to be about it. Slider, knuckle curve, there's the dreaded curveball, and changeup. Right-handed hitters, you're going to see the four-seam and slider mix, and you will every once in a while, like I said, see the sinker and curveball. Lefties, you're going to see the four-seam fastball and changeup with a mixture of the curveball and slider as well. His tendencies, he likes to throw the slider early in counts, and he tries to put the right-handed hitters away with his fastball. So righties, you're going to get sliders early, and then he's going to come back and try to get you out with the fastball. He does become reliant on the fastball in 2-1, 3-1, and 3-0 counts. I did pick up on that for a tendency. Lefties, there is a noticeable increase in his changeup usage in 0-1 and 1-1 counts. Not saying that that's the only count he throws it in, but when I say it's noticeable, every other count's like anywhere from 5 to 15%. These are like 55% changeups, and it's the only ones like that. So keep that in mind. If you want to go up there and you're saying you're in a 1-0 count, you get to 1-1, you might want to sit on the changeup for a pitch and just see what happens. Because if you get it and you get it up, you might be able to do some damage. All right, moving on to the approach for our right-handed hitters. We're going to hunt the fastball and slider window. For the fastball, you want it to start inner third to the outer third, belt to mid-thigh and height. The slider, we want it to start inside off of the plate to the outer third, belt to mid-thigh and height. Keep your direction to the big part of the field. Do not try to get pull happy. He is going to attack the top of the zone with his heater, and he's going to try to get you to expand away off the plate with the slider. Keep him in the zone, and you should do very well. Lefties, you're going to hunt the fastball and changeup windows, and of course the hanging breaking ball. For the fastballs, we want it to start inner third to outer third, belt to mid-thigh and height. If anything starts middle and further away and it breaks that way, take it. His changeup has a lot of run on it. When I tell you it has a lot, it's like 16 inches of run. So it can start down the middle and almost end up completely off of the plate. So that is why the changeup is a separate window. The changeup, we want it to start on the inside corner to the inner third, belt to mid-thigh. Again, anything that starts middle or further away and starts breaking that way, take it. It's going to be a ball off the plate every single time when he's on because that changeup has a lot of run to it. Keep your direction to left center field and do not try to pull it to the short porch. Make sure we're trying to go middle backside on him. Get the ball in the zone, and you should do very well. He does have a good fastball. He's going to pitch it up in the strike zone. I wouldn't look for it down, especially if you're whether you're right-handed or left-handed, because then he's going to try to get you to expand on those low pitches with his off speed, and that's how he's going to get you. So make sure you get the fastball up in the zone and you hammer the crap out of it when it's in the zone. Again, that's all I got on Mr. Garrett Cole. Do you have anything else?
Again, I know you brushed over it, but when he gets focused in a big game, it's crazy. He got the Washington Nationals early, great offense. He threw a no-hitter into the sixth inning. I've always loved that about Garrett Cole. That's why he's one of my favorite pitchers. The bigger the game, the better he pitches, and he's going to think Chris Sale's a big game. We better come ready to play. That's all I'm saying.
I do feel confident in this series a little bit better because we are swinging the bats so well, but I don't want the guys to get over anxious at the plate. Like, just trust your approach, keep your same game plans. You go in with the hitters meetings, get your game plan, go out there and execute it, keep doing what you've been doing the last 7 games, and I think you're going to have a pretty good time of it. But I'll be honest here, chat. We're facing their best pitcher, arguably statistically, okay, in game 3. But I think we have the best shot against this guy, Ken. Mr. Cam, I know Andrew has trouble saying his last name, Schlittler. Thank you, good sir. What you got on Mr. Cam Schlittler?
He is their best pitcher this year just because the two guys are getting older, and he'll be probably the game one pitcher in their postseason, to be honest with you. But I'm going to jinx this probably. He's going to throw a no hitter against us because of all the pitchers, I think he's the one guy we can hit because he throws lots and lots and lots of fastballs. And I don't think anybody who just gears up and throws fastballs against us can beat us as long as we pitch well. So Granholm's pitch well. I think we'll beat him, kind of like the Jacob Mizorowski game. I feel confident that we can give Cam a tough time, but we'll see. I probably just jinxed us. He'll probably get a no hitter, but that's how I feel.
Well, I mean, a guy with his stuff, he can go out there on any given night and possibly throw a no hitter. So don't feel bad. Don't think that you jinxed us. It could just happen regardless. But I will say this, chat. I got the scouter report on him. Okay, the Atlanta Braves delivered it to my desk, and I'm just gonna tell you, it's the guy who says that he throws nothing but effing gas. That's the scouting report. He throws nothing but gas. He's gonna throw fast, and fastest. He's got his pitch mix is sinker and a slider that he never throws. Fastball, his four seamer, cutter, and then oh yeah, every blue moon you'll just see a little old curveball come in there. So I don't even consider his slider or curveball to even be in the remote possibility of pitches that he might throw. If he throws it and dots that thing 3 times, I'm going to go take my ass back to the dugout, okay? Because I am not sitting there waiting on a curveball or slider. All right, right-handed hitters, you're going to see the sinker, four-seamer, and cutter. You'll see some curveballs every once in a while. Lefties, you're going to get the four-seamer and cutters mostly. Every once in a while, he'll throw a sinker and curveball, but as you guys should have picked up throughout this year, if you're a right-handed pitcher and you got a lefty on the mound, you don't normally throw a sinker because it's easier for the lefties to kind of throw the bat head out at it and drive it to left center field. Same thing if it's a right-hander with a lefty on the mound, and they don't normally throw sinkers away because, again, it's easier for the righties to get extended and drive that ball into the gap. So that's why you don't see as many sinkers to opposing sides, whether it's right-handed pitcher, left-handed stick, left-handed pitcher, right-handed stick. All right. His tendencies, again, he throws nothing but gas. He's going to throw anywhere from 98 to 101. That's what you're going to get. There's no in between. Well, the cutter's going to be like 95. Yeah, a cutter at 95 is ridiculous. So our approach, we are going to hunt the 3 fastballs. The four-seamer, we want it to start high to belt. I wouldn't even say belt high. I would say high thigh to low thigh, inner third to outer third. That's where you want the four-seam fastball to start. The cutter, we wanted to start inside off of the plate to the inner third. Again, belt to mid-thigh. Sinker, we wanted to start off of the plate away to the outer third of plate, belt to mid-thigh. Again, you guys can kind of see I'm going a little bit lower here. I want the ball down. There's no way I'm going to sit there and try to get this guy upstairs. He's going to try to live upstairs, and if he's going to try to live up there, make him earn the top of the zone. Make him paint the top of the strike zone before we go up there looking for it. Stay right center field. Stay calm in the box. Don't feel like you got to rush to get your ace swing off. Just do what you've been doing these last 7 games, guys, and you're going to do fine. Especially for Riley and Ronald. You guys are catching up to 99. Riley, you caught up to 99 painted on the inside corner against Yuri Perez. You can hit this guy's 99, 100 miles an hour. So there's no reason to change anything mechanically. Just get on time. Lefties, our approach. It's going to be the exact same thing as the right-handed hitters. You're going to hunt the 3 fastballs. Again, you want the ball to start belt high to low thigh, inner third to outer third if it's the four-seamer. The cutter, you want it to start off of the plate away to the outer third, belt to mid-thigh. And the sinker, you want it to start inside at you off of the plate to the outer third, belt to mid-thigh. Get him down in the zone. Get him over the plate. Drive him middle backside because there's no reason to go ahead and try to pull this guy and try to get your swing out there as early as possible. Stay within yourself. Stay middle backside because if you're going to drive the ball to right center field on 101, if he hangs a cutter, you're going to be on time for it to pull it out of the ballpark. There's no reason to really feel like you can't hit anything His timing windows are going to be from 95 to 100. You guys can adjust to that in the blink of an eye. Your major league hitters, you're just going to have to read the ball. And if you have the right approach, you're going to be able to make the read, whether it's a cutter, a sinker, or a fastball. It's just a fastball. You guys are fastball hitters. That's why I'm very confident in this matchup with you guys. Don't let me down. Ken, you got anything else on Mr. Cam Schlittler?
No, I like the fact that you touched on Ronnie and Austin. So we'll see how far they came. I mean, if they've come like me and you both think they have, they should have a good day against Cam.
I'll be honest, I think they should have a really good series because for them, right center field's their key. That's their honey hole. When they're doing well, that's where they're driving the ball, and that's where their goals and eyesight should be this whole series because right center field's about 325 feet away, it seems like. So have a fun time in New York. Get some bombs. Get the ball up in the zone. Except against Schlittler, you want to get him down in the zone. He doesn't have any breaking balls that are going to trick you if they're down in the zone. He's going to throw cutter, sinker, fastball. And the sinker doesn't go down. His sinker is a freaking frisbee. It's like a left-handed cutter. It literally starts and it just moves in. It doesn't move down. It just holds its plane and moves in. So if it starts low, it's probably going to finish low. It might just run one way or the other, or it'll stay true. Moving on to their bullpen, I'll be honest with you, there's one guy that I didn't get to in their bullpen, and that's because their bullpen's pretty good. They got one lefty that I really liked. They got Bednar in the back end, so we'll save Bednar. Ken, I've never even heard of this guy until today. Brent Hedrick is the left-handed specialist out of that New York bullpen, and he is pretty daggum good. What do you got on that guy?
He's very good. I mean, he's trying to do a comparison. He's not. I tell you what, I'll give you one. He's not the way he throws, but Wandy Peralta kind of guy. He can be difficult. He's a good fastball, really good off speed, and his arm action is great. It's just like the fastball. So he is not easy, and he's been secret to success. And probably part of the reason we both think they probably should have got extra bullpen arms. But probably while they're confident, maybe they can get through this, and he'll be a big part of their postseason.
There's absolutely no doubt about it. The Yankees have three lefties in their bullpen, but he is by far the best one. The other one is Ryan Yarbrough and Tim Hill. Not saying that they can't be good, but they're going to be more the old crafty lefties trying to trick you with arm angles and off-speed stuff. This guy's got really, really good stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about him. He's got a 4-pitch mix. He's got a 4-seam fastball, a sinker, a slider, and a split. Right-handers, you're going to see the 4-seamer and slider, and every once in a while, you're going to see the split. He only throws it for whatever reason at like a 6 to 8% clip. The rest of it's 4-seamer and sliders. That, I think, is going to be his key to get to the next level against righties is developing that split. Lefties, you're going to see the sinker and 4-seam fastball and sliders. Tendencies, he is fastball heavy when he is behind in the count. Lefties, when he is ahead, he gets extremely slider happy. I'm sure that's a shocker. That's going to be his put-away pitch against you guys. So our approach for right-handed hitters, you're going to hunt the fastball and changeup window and the slider window. The reason why I really want you guys to hunt the 4-seamer and changeup window is because you can read spin. Again, I've always preached this. You can read spin. It's really hard to read a changeup. So if you're sitting more right center field and looking on the plane of a changeup, the slider is going to stick out if it hangs. For the 4-seamer and changeup, we want the ball to start inner third to outer third, belt to high thigh. The slider, we want it to start away off of the plate to the inner third, above the zone to the high thigh. We're not going to go inner third. We're going outer third. Outer third of the plate, above the zone to the high thigh. Keep your direction to right center field. Get the ball up in the zone. Do not expand corners or down in the zone. If you get the ball up on this guy, I'm pretty confident that you're going to do some damage against him because if you get the slider up, it's very hittable. His fastball is good, but it's only really good because people get messed up on his slider and his off-speed pitches. So if you eliminate them down in the zone and you start getting them up, you really take away his fastball as a weapon, in my opinion. Lefties, you're going to hunt the 4-seamer and sinker window and the slider window. For the 4-seam fastball and sinker, we want the ball to start belt to high thigh, outside corner to the middle of the plate. This guy's sinker is a true sinker. It has a little bit of a run back into the lefties, but it really sinks. It just drops straight down. So you want the slider to, let's see, we want the ball to start belt to high thigh. I was like, all right. The slider we want to start at us inside off the plate to the middle of the plate, above the zone to the high thigh. So keep your direction to left center field. That's going to keep you on the fastball, whether it's inside or it's down the middle and or away. And it's also going to keep you on the slider. If it starts at you, you'll be able to recognize it and you get the barrel out in front. But if it starts more in the inside corner, you can still drive that ball middle backside again. If the pitch starts middle away and it breaks away, take it. It's going to be a ball. If you guys, again, get the ball up in the zone on this guy and a limit and get his off speed to flatten out, he's going to be not as good, and you're going to have some success against him. Ken, that is what I have on this gentleman. Do you have anything else on Mr. Brent Hedrick?
No, that's spot on. Good job.
All right, to the closer, Mr. David Bednar. God, I remember when he was just coming up, and now he's been in the league almost 10 years. Ken, what you got on Mr. Bednar?
It's an interesting matchup between the closers. They're almost identical. The fact that they don't get noted for just the fancy coming in, just blowing you away like a Mason Miller or Duran or any of those like that, but they do a hell of a job. They know how to mix their pitches. They got good fastballs, but it's really fascinating to watch these two, and they both can be huge in the postseason. And Bednar, the fact that is they are going to allow guys to get on base, so you got to put the ball in play and have good at bats. We could actually do some damage against him, but he's tough, and he's going to be big for them going down the stretch as well.
That he is. He has been actually really good for them. I was surprised because he kind of was iffy in the World Baseball Classic. I wasn't that impressed, but spring training, so I can kind of understand it. But he's really good, Chad. He's got a four-seamer that has 18 inches of induced vertical break. He's got a split, and he's got a curveball that is a true 12-6 curveball. So righties and lefties are going to see the exact same pitch mix. I mean, the splits are almost identical. He's a one of a kind. It's probably the first pitcher all year that has had identical pitch mixes to both sides of the plate. The tendencies is to lefties. With 2 strikes, he becomes a four-seam and split guy. He has thrown maybe 20 curveballs all season long in 2-strike counts to you left-handed hitters. So you get to eliminate 1 pitch on 2 strikes. I mean, I got you that, but otherwise it's good luck. Righties, our approach, we're going to hunt the four-seamer and split window, and, of course, the hang and breaking ball. For the four-seam fastball and split, we want the ball to start belt to high thigh from the inner third to the outer third of the plate. For the curveball, you want it to start above the strike zone to the belt and absolutely no lower, because if it starts inside the zone at like your high thigh, low thigh, mid thigh, it's going to fall out of the zone. It's going to be a ball. There is just no sense in chasing that pitch. So again, and it's true 12-6, so you don't have to worry about it breaking away from you. So you want the ball to start anywhere from the inner third to the outer third part of the plate. If you get the ball up in the zone and you don't expand low, he wants you to fish low on the split and curveball. So keep your direction to right center field. He will also try to get you to expand on the fastball up out of the zone. So if you keep him in that zone where he's up in the strike zone, but he's not too far up where he's out, and you're not expanding low, you should have really good success off him. Lefties, it's the exact same approach because it's the exact same thing. There's nothing different with the approaches. Get the fastball up in the strike zone, keyword in the strike zone. Get the curveball to start above the zone. Same thing with the split. I mean, again, if you stay middle backside with this guy and you get the ball where you want it and you don't chase, you're going to have success. But again, these guys are really good. They are nasty. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 3 up, 3 down, but I also wouldn't be surprised if our guys work the pitch count against him and they get him up in the zone and they pop a homer or two that take the lead. So could go either way, but that is what I got on the Yankees pitching staff. Ken, do you have anything else?
Yes, sir. Ready to go.
It was fun doing a different team. My God, I haven't had a new team to do in it feels like forever. So with that being said, Ken, weekend series in the Bronx, how do you think the Braves do?
Tough. If I knew exactly how Molly was going to throw, and I do think he'll have a chip on his shoulder as well, as Holmes and Elder have said. And I want to see Holmes go back to back. So, with all that said, they are facing their three best pitchers. Yankees are fighting for their life. Not that the Braves are going to come off of it, but they're fighting for their life. So I'm going to say the Yankees are going to win 2 out of 3, hoping that we win 2 out of 3. But I'll go Yankees 2 out of 3.
Ken, Braves were winning 2 out of 3, buddy.
So,
Riding high, riding high. Not saying the Yankees can't Yankees. I mean, they have the advantage in every pitching matchup in this series. I just really like the way we're swinging the bats. That's why I'm going 2 out of 3. Let me tell you, if we were swinging the bats like we were coming out of the Mets series, there ain't no way I'd be predicting 2 out of 3. I would say we wouldn't be getting swept. But I like the way we're playing right now. Pitching staff for the Braves has been good. It's going to be interesting. You're going to have to tune in to see what Ken thinks about our new trade acquisition in Tyler Mahle. We also get a good old Chris Sale bump day in this series, so that'll be exciting as well. But we're not a pitching pod. We're a hitting podcast right here. So, Ken, who's going to be your pick to click in the Braves lineup this weekend?
you're kind of stealing my thunder when you talked about him against Max. I'm going to go Ronald Acuna Jr., and tonight he hit a ball opposite field for a home run. When Ronnie's right, I think he could even be a little late on Cam and still hit the ball out of the ballpark. So I'm going to go Ronald Acuna Jr.
I like it. Ken, there's just no way this dude doesn't come in this series and doesn't hit at least 2 or 3 tanks this weekend. I'm feeling it. And you're feeling it. You told me earlier in the pod you're feeling him getting hot. Matt Olson's going to have a nice weekend up there in the Bronx. I can see him having a fun day against Schlittler. I know he's good, but he can hit anybody's fastball, especially if he knows it's coming, and that's when he's going to know that fastball is coming. So I think Mr. Matt Olson's going to have a very nice weekend series. I was very close to taking Drake, too, because Drake's just this really good fastball hitter. But I think the Braves are going to have a good weekend. I really like your Acuna pick, especially if he really sits right center field and gets back to that even more. He's going to have a nice weekend, too. But with that being said, Ken, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Starting to think Matty may go somewhere, get us to running near 50 homers by the end of this. He's getting zoned in, so I love your Matt Olson pick.
I think he's going to be in the neighborhood of 45 for sure. At least 45 if he stays healthy. But I don't have any final thoughts. The only thing I got for you, chat, is if you like the video, please like it. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what else you would like to see on the show. If you would like changes or if you like the way it is, let us know. Give me your series prediction. How do you think we do this weekend? And if the Braves win the series, who do you think plays a key part? Drop that comment down below and let us know. And until next time, chat, we are out of here. See you guys on the next one.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.